Good day, everyone. So, I am Mark Lester
Okay.
Montrayo, and I am here together with my partner, Christian Ray Baculio. And in this discussion, I will be asking Christian Ray 10 questions. So, Christian, are you ready for the interrogation?
Yes, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's start.
So, let us begin with question number one. If A is false, what is E?
Um, the logical opposition between E and A and is that they are contraries, and the rule here is that since A and E are both universals, uh, if the first proposition is false, then the second proposition is unknown. Example: if all birds can fly is false, then all birds cannot fly would be doubtful.
The answer is correct. So, now let us proceed to question number two. If E is true, what is A?
Uh, Here, uh, the logical opposition uh, between E and A are contraries. Since E and A are both universal, if the first proposition is true, then the second proposition would be automatically be false. Hence, if E is true, A is automatically false, just like in number one. Example: if all humans cannot think is true, then the proposition all humans can think would be false.
Okay, the answer is correct. So, let us now
Okay, thank
proceed
you.
to question number three. If A is true, what is O?
Oh, okay. Uh, the logical opposition of A and O are contradictories. And the rule here is that since A and O are contradictories, which means that they have different quality and quantity, one of them must be true and the other one must be false. Hence, if A is true, O would be false. And an example for this is that if all humans can think is true, then the proposition some humans cannot think would be false.
The answer is correct. So
Okay,
now
thank
let
you.
us proceed to question number four. If E is false, what is I?
Okay. Uh, the logical opposition of E and I are still just like number three. They are contradictories. As I have said, that in contradictory proposition, one must be true and the other must be false, or vice versa. Therefore, if E is false, I would be true. Example: if no human can think is false, then some humans can think would automatically be true.
The answer is correct. So number five. If I is false, what is O?
Uh, in the logical opposition of I and O would be subcontraries. Uh, and in subcontraries, the ruling here is that since I and O they are both particulars, if the proposition starts as false, the other the other proposition would be true. Uh, Therefore, if I is false, O would be true. And uh, an example for this is that an example for this is that if uh, all children, no children cannot write is false, then the other proposition, no children can write, would be true.
The answer is correct. So number six. If O is true, what is I?
Okay, in the situation of O and I, their logical opposition are also subcontraries. And just like what I've stated above, both of them, the ruling here is that both of them are particulars, but in subcontraries, if it starts with a true proposition, the other would be doubtful or unknown. In other words, if O is true, I would be doubtful. An example for this is that if some diseases are not contagious is true, then the proposition some diseases are contagious would be unknown or doubtful.
The answer is correct. Well done. Question number 7. If A is true, what is I?
What was that? Come again. My signal is a little bit choppy.
Uh, if if A is true, what is I?
Oh, okay. Uh, in the situation of A and I, their logical opposition would be subalterns, and the ruling is that propositions A and I are both affirmative, but they differ in terms of quantity. If it starts with a true universal proposition, the particular would automatically be true. Hence, if A is true, then I would also be true. Uh, Example: if all heroes are brave is true, then some heroes are brave would also be true.
The answer is correct. So, question number 8. If E is false, what is O?
Uh, the logical opposition of E and O are subalterns, and the rule is uh, is that E and O are both negative in quality but differ in terms of quantity, just like in the previous question. But in subalterns, if it starts with false universal proposition, the particular would be unknown. Hence, if E is false, since this is universal, O would then be unknown or doubtful. Example: no human can think. No human can think is false, and then the proposition some humans cannot think would be unknown.
The answer is correct. So, question number 9, last two questions.
Okay.
If I is true, what is A?
Okay, just like the previous question, a uh, a and I, the logical opposition of A and I are also subalterns. This the what makes the ruling here is that what makes it different from the previous is that it started with a particular proposition. So if the starting particular proposition is true, the universal uh, the universal would be unknown. In other words, if I is true, A would be unknown or doubtful. Example: if some humans can think is true, then all humans can think would be doubtful.
The answer is correct. So, last question. Question number 10. If O is false, what is E?
Okay, uh, O and E from a base from the previous question, it is still the logical opposition is still subalterns, and uh, and the ruling in subaltern proposition is that if it started with a false particular proposition, the universal proposition would also be false. Hence, if O is false, then in other words, E would also be false. Example: just like the humans can think. If some humans cannot think is false, then the proposition all humans cannot think would also be false, which is which is also be false.
Well done, Christian. The answer is correct. So, your total score now is 10 over 10. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you so much, Mark. Thank you for giving me such questions and validating my answers.
You're welcome.